Now, if 18 years old makes a person an adult, then why is it that an adult cannot buy cigarettes or have a drink, even though you are an adult? This is what a friend of mine came up and said, I can't wait 2 more years. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, 2 more years, I'll be able to go into any bar and buy a drink whenever I want. And then he said to me, not knowing that I had planned to address this in a sermon, is that how is it that I am 18, I can go and fight for my country, but I can't buy a drink, not knowing that I already had planned to speak on this. Now, here's some things that you might want to know. If they say that you are a child at 17, which is nonsense, of course, but you're a child today, you go to sleep, and in just a few hours, when you wake up tomorrow, you are 18, you are considered an adult. So now you can go and join the military because you are an adult. You're trained to go and kill the enemy and even get wounded or die for your country because you are an adult. So you go out there, you serve, you fight, you get wounded, you come back a year or two later, and now you are 20. You come back and you say, wow, you want to buy a drink, and you can't because you're considered not old enough. So, what is the meaning of being 18 and being considered an adult? It's interesting that the people who come up with these ideas say that the brain is not fully formed until you're in your 20s. I'm going to post something and show you what these experts are saying, that your brain is not ready for critical thinking. How stupid is that? So if you are acknowledging that an 18, 19, 20-year-old is not able to think critically, who are these people taking these 18, 19, and 20-year-olds and throwing them into the military and into battle if they're incapable of making critical decisions? Does that make any sense at all? Now, let me share this. Most people who joined the military had this desire from in their early, maybe preteens to early teens, that they have this indwelling desire to join the military. It's not something you wake up. Yes, of course, there are some people who decide afterwards, but for the most part, here's a perfect example. AGT. If someone under 18 is not capable of critical thinking, why are so many musicians, puppeteers, singers on AGT that are well below 18 are demonstrating maturity, signs of critical thinking, and are currently now in their early 20s doing the very same thing that they portrayed interest in and showing that this is what they want to pursue for their life? So that just proves that this idea of you're an idiot until you are old enough because you're incapable of critical thinking, that theory is dead. Because there are humans left and right. Some of you listening to this have common sense and have critical thinking. And again, for the experts saying that you are incapable of critical thinking, why ask high schoolers the most critical question of all? What do you want to do when you graduate? Why ask them? Just shove it on them because they can't make up their minds because they are young, they're children, they're immature, they cannot think critically. So you force their career on them, but you don't do that. You ask them and you respect their decisions based on what? What foundation of critical thinking? But yet you accept it. So you see, this nonsensical idea of these people that sit down and make up an age in which humanity should be mature is nonsensical. This is part one of a 3-part series in this about how God looks at childhood and adulthood. There's only two in the Bible, two throughout the world. However, man take it upon themselves to create multiple levels of this. There's only two in nature. In a tree, you either have a sapling or you have a mature tree. You either have a pup or you have a dog. There's no in between in anywhere else, but yet you put this great burden on mankind. So, why can't someone who served their country, bled, even gave their life for their country, is still not old enough to have a drink? This is what this friend asked. And I said, well, I'm going to create a video on this because I don't have an answer to that. Because the people who do this or create these laws shouldn't be in a position like that because they have no idea of what humanity is and what human development is. They need to go back to school to learn these fundamentals. I think it's very unfair that a person cannot have a drink, but they're old enough to die for their country. They're doing it anyway. In high school, I drank at functions outside of school, of course, but we did it because we wanted to. I made that critical decision. I don't drink now. I used to go to the bar all the time. Who made that decision? I did. I made the same decision under 18 as I made over 18. So where is this idea coming from that if you're not at a certain age or your brain don't mature or ripen until your mid-20s that you're incapable of making critical decisions? Most successful people in the world today have demonstrated maturity within their high school years and pursued their career throughout college and is successful in the world today because of demonstrating maturity prior to being 18. So that debunks this idea that you have to be 18 to be an adult. That's just a age that the government has put aside, which I agree with, to be independent. You are old enough to sign at 18 a contract, legal binding, which is the most serious thing you can do, and to be reprimanded and be held accountable for that contract. But you can't have a drink? Stupidity. I'm Pastor Rich, Walking Ministries Online, and I will see you soon.